It's one of those days. It is beautiful. That hill range that you see to the far side there is what's known as the Cedar Roughs. I guess there used to be cedars up there. Small ones, probably like up in Knoxville. You are in Pope Valley proper. And we're gonna head out into these mountains and look for some old roads that are lost and follow them. Burial mounds, living mounds, whatever you want to call them. Prehistory mounds are obvious out here. A lot of them are natural features added to, you know, perfect spots. This is actually like a sedge swamp when it's wetter, and just the little rises coming up out of them. A lot of them here in Pope Valley and what's called Childs Valley and Lower Childs Valley, though, to my account as a witness, these are small. So we have some big ones that look like whole villages could live on them. But a lot of these look like little ceremonial things, small little things. I would actually call them howls. And you'll find them all over the world, so I don't know why they wouldn't be along this beautiful coast, you know. But and the other thing is that I know a lot of the old timers and the original families and stuff, and they'll tell you, you know, oh yeah, the barn right over there is actually built on one, so they know, you know. And I've heard accounts of what's come out of them and all that, but there are a lot just still standing, so it's a pretty cool detail. I can't drive around without seeing them and them driving me a little crazy. Gear at AT Pro today, and a bunch of other gear. But I don't know if we're going to use any of it or just wander around and look at cool stuff. I hope you're in for that. It's blustery, it's beautiful. It's the very end of November. God, I don't know, might be the beginning of December the way things creep up on you. Let's get on with it. Okay, just found what we were looking for. We got Old Road. Wow, look at that. That's pretty crazy. Those are big. Wow, look at that. What is that? Wow. Right off the bat. Boom. Okay. Well, pretty cool. There's our sign. Probably just blowing those out of the road and then blocking the old road as they made the new one. And this is a wildlife area, so we can't use lead ammunition, but we can find it. Well, I see roads going off in all directions right here. We're down in a little canyon, and there's a road going up to the modern, big, flat, open areas. I mean, just where we're standing, it's obviously a people spot, but could have been a house spot too, so we'll use our iron audio and find the thick patches of nails and then look around. But yeah, looking like an area. Okay, so I see that Phil has been piled up here. Not the person, but the dirt. And the side road, but I think that's the original road we'll stick to. Anyhow, this was up here, and those are like welder cuts. So that's out of plate steel that's that thick. So, not quite what I wanted early on. Like my little bag. Pretty cute, huh? Here's the road surface. I don't believe it was ever paved, but I do believe it's the old route out here. So, or was at some point. And that's what we're looking at. It's gonna be a long walk with a metal detector, waiting for obscurity and serendipity. This is awesome. Look, and there's shale. So instantly we can start looking at the geology, and we can start looking for fossils and anything else. Because this is a, an old abandoned road, so look how steep the sides of the canyons are. So there could be anything along it. There's some minerals right there. Little caverns of crystals. So keep our eyes out. Feel pretty lucky. Finally. I mean, the view is beautiful out here. Look at these cliffs. It's serpentine. Chaparral is what you call this brush country. Mixes of, it's digger pines with bay are the tall trees, and oak, and then you get smaller oaks, and ceanothus, buckbrush, the blue ceanothus, manzanita, madrone, all that, pyracantha, poison oak. But, a lot of hope. Look at that. Omens. Follow your omens. It's a 1964 coin. It's not a silver, but it is the right direction. So now, well, we're leaving it up to fate still. Honestly, I'm doing a wide zigzag and kind of making distance, because now I'm like, where does this road, how far does it go? You know, the new road has gone way far up above. This one's, an older route. So I just kind of want to know. I had bad wanderlust. But yes. Gotta kind of keep watching my overhead on a day like this, because we're in winter, and that's the thing about being alive, is that you want to stay alive no matter what. So a hungry animal can try and jump on you, and they got the overhead here. So I don't let it rule my world like any fear, but I do pay heed to it and pay as much attention to it as I can. So, but I want to come over here, show you these. You know what these are? These are buckeyes. So they're the largest acorn of the oak family, and really hard to get all the tannic acid out of here, the acid that makes acorns bitter and makes them hard to eat raw. Most species besides blue oaks, you have to leach the tannic acid out. But because these are so high in tannic acid, one thing that they are really great for is tanning hides. So that's part of where you get the word tanning from, is from using tannic acid. So you can use any sort of acorn, even an oak stump. You can use the brains of the animal. Usually have enough to do the skin. Hope that's not too gross. But they are also, sweetbread is really high in tannic acid, is one of the things. But these, for being, we're in the land of acorns too. We're surrounded by probably 30 species of oaks. I'm not joking. And, all those acorns are edible. So these are big and easy to find, but you only see the deers munching on these in hard winters and stuff. And even then you can tell it probably gives them a bellyache, which is what you would suffer, too much acid in your stomach. They plant really well. They sprout, they go crazy, they make a really beautiful tree with silver bark. But yeah, that's what they are. Buckeyes. And also while I'm down here, I'll show you what I'm collecting out of some of these scree. These little mineralized stripes of quartz. And it looks like if gold was going to trickle down through somewhere, these are, you know, harder than the shale, so they're sticking together, but falling out of all this. So I figure I'll high grade it as I walk along. And that's just part of the fun of all this, is looking at nature and being out in the middle of nowhere. Better take the shovel. And yeah, you never know. You never know. Now look at this land here. I think it's a piece of pure soapstone, and it's beautiful. Like, my God. Wow. I believe it's soapstone just because of the way the surface is soaping up. Yep. Look at that. So this can occur in pockets in serpentine country, but that is translucent also. That is beautiful. Wow. Wow. That wants to be carved. Let's go over here and look around. Put that in my pocket. Some good mineral specimens. That was just laying right here. It got broke out by their machines. It spread out as road base. You can tell that's what this was. They're right on the edge, and they were just coming along and digging in, and when they got bigger machines later on in time, you know, they went up above and made something that's probably easier to maintain. But okay, on with it. 3 inches away. That's why it's good to pay attention. Look at that. Look at that. Do you see the greasy luster of that? Put it back in the shade. It's beautiful in all these lights. Get some water on this. Look at that. Wow. We're going to stop here and hunt a little bit. Look at that. That's just one piece too. One little layer. That's why I'm taking those thick ones and busting them up. But let me set that down. And what did I just see? Oh God, I paid attention to that too long. There's more pieces of this. There it is. Look. Look. Wow. You know, I believe that it's a soapstone. It's soft like that. Or a Vesuvinite, or a, I don't know. It is awesome. It is awesome. Sun's sinking behind the canyon. I detected some metal. See it? That slid off there a long time ago. Let's go walk on ahead here. How are we gonna mark this? Well, the truck. Oh, so if you know where this is, it's out off of Pope Valley Road, headed out towards the lake. Look at that. Feel free to come gather some up. You know, it's here. Now we all know it's here. And if you know what it is, help me identify it. It's real soft and waxy like soapstone. It's coming out of this gray shale though, apparently. Not out of any serpentine. I believe this is one of those rivers that follows the rip between two strata. So you have shale on this side, and I see the heavy serpentine rounded globby green over there. But it may have been pushed down the road from a little ways too. So keep my eye out and move on down the road, because it's going to get dark on us, and even darker by the time we come back. Looks like they had some falling away with the road issues here too. Be a good spot to get down in that creek there and look at the geology of it. Look at what rocks are in there and see how much actual green is here. Yeah, a little skinny spot. Looks cool though. Can you imagine back in the day? Creeping around out here with no pavement in your 40s mobiles. Wonder if that went somewhere. We're deep in here now, huh? Wonder what's making all the splashing down in that deep pool. Weather's moving pretty fast. We got some big old clouds. There you can see off in the distance the views that I'm looking at. Farther? I'd say so. Oh, I bet you that's cool little waterfall, mossy area up in there. You see that? Probably a water stop. Look at the ground. I don't have the detector on. There's so much going on. And I'm walking along the bottom of these scree slopes. And, you know, real confident that the snakes are all asleep right now. Because it's cold. But I don't see a drop of that green up in here. See a whole lot of awesome looking quartz. If we pan even a drop out of what we got, we can come back and investigate some of these other layers of it here. Because take your pick, you know. I'm not focused enough to use the detector on that right now. But look at this boulder field down below us. Looks like a lot of water comes through. Look at the trees bent downstream and the fact that there's no vegetation that comes out of the willow world and goes into that. But it's also really steep here too. Say we go a little bit farther. I always say that though. Yeah, that. See the sparkly face on that? Pure sugar. Well, I just ran into some people walking the road and got out to this wide spot. And it's beautiful, so. And I can see the windings of the road a long ways off. And they said that this road's been shut down for 65 years. So yeah, it never had pavement on it. Really cool. Thanks for coming along with me on this one. I don't feel quite so alone. Let me say it too one more time in case you've missed it on other videos. My phone notifies me every time that somebody leaves a comment, and I read them and I enjoy them and I appreciate them. You know, they'll stack up when I do have them, when I'm driving through, and then I get to read them. So the point is that You know, I hear everything that you're saying, and in this next season, I have more opportunities to be able to get back to everybody, and I appreciate you keeping our little community alive with your comments, and yeah. Right here on the edge, set my detector down. Look. So, it's all along here, but pretty scarce. Look here, the river goes down. It's a big, deep pool. Look how deep that gouge is, because it couldn't get through that rock. Look how big that rock is. So it had to go around it and went that way. You can see it makes its way on down. But the road follows it up above. I think we can get out to that flat spot. So I'm going to turn the detector back on. And yeah, toy on. It's the red-berried bush in California that doesn't have the smooth red bark like the manzanita or the madrone. But we're used in the same ways. Okay, so I just ran into the right people, and they know the road, and this is serpentinite. So it's caused between the plates rubbing together, and it's the things caught in between, and it's crushed down. It's the pressure of that. So I'm also looking around at this little bluff, which is luring me over the edge here, and I am seeing all kinds of little pieces of it that I'm gathering out of here. But they told me that if you go farther down this road, there's some awesome blue stuff. So I think we're gonna kind of jam. Sorry to sidetrack into the rocks, but that's what we're doing. That answers my question, because you know it's somewhere in between the super soft soapstones and then serpentine. So this is the gem of it, you know. And that's really awesome. It is a really cool thing, and for how profuse serpentine can be in an area. It's really rare in the world, you know, relatively when you look at the composition of the earth. It isn't that common. I'm collecting all these little pieces. There might be a clip of it down the road, but in fact, let's go ahead and move on, and then we'll come back if nothing else. Oh yeah, getting into a real, this section of stone is really just breaking in the needles. The shale. See how long and skinny they are. Just the texture of that material. Okay, if you look at where we are, you can see it's an old road that comes around here. I don't believe it goes any further down, and we are surrounded by cliffs. But I don't know if you can tell, a long time ago this was the road, and what we are on is that big old tall rock. I apologize to the wind. I'm not going to get super close to the edge, but it goes all the way around. There's one of those buckeyes, and I might hang you over the edge. But this goes all the way around, and then the river continues on. Now there's a dam down there, so the water's backed up, which is causing that to be that full until there. But until the dam in the 50s, this would all look like a riverbed like that. Now this goes straight down as far as that rock goes straight down. And what I wanted to show you was this is probably a cabling rock. So when you don't do bridges or stuff, or when there's bridges way down in the lower valleys, but you gotta get stuff across, you use big rocks and you cable across. Something came across here. I guarantee you that this pole that's set in here, which is long gone, it takes them a while to do that, stood up right here, and there's either one, it's probably a road that comes down over here, or a flat spot right out in here. I don't know if you can make that out. probably both, and then a road that might sneak up there onto the other side. And they would either use that flat spot over there or that rock, and they're usually called cable rocks, and then they run something in between. It could have been a power line, but I'm thinking this long ago it was probably just stuff, and they'd send stuff across from the good road to the ranches and stuff over there, and they might have a super long road that went further out, and this was their closest point to the good road that went to town. So if that makes any sense. But look at where we are. I mean, it's awesome. I'm gonna hang you over the edge and do some scary stuff. There's our road home there. Okay, we are detecting again. There's a lower road down below us. This one comes down to it too, and it heads down to the water. So, but this is what we're trying to make our way to before we turned around, at least. Oh, and then it's kind of a cool shelf right there. You see how there's the back hill range, and that looks like it's just perfectly flat right here. But we're not going to go up there today, and then who knows what's around the corner. So if you want me to come back here, let me know. I definitely want to go down that road. Look. Look. Wait. I had to call his name to make him stop. Hi! I just wanted to get a face shot. Sorry, buddy. That's the lot he draws. Well, I'm scouring this low area. Kind of looks like it would have been a lover's lane, and you can feel the presence. I think it was cool seeing that old wreck truck down in the ditch and getting the feel for the place, seeing the old pop tops laying around, and yeah, just the fact that it was never paved, that the ranches out here were so isolated, that by the time you were out here in the 50s, you know, you were pretty far out. We are now. So pretty cool. That other road down below us just kind of dives into what's the water now, so I don't know if it followed the old river course, you know, and there was gravel beds from then on down to the valley, or if there's a little ranch down below us. So gonna have to save it for another day. And I'm feeling really good. I think I'm gonna detect my way out of here. The signals are real sparse and few and far between, but it's a heck of a shelf back there. Guess that could be from water. Maybe there's a little quarry hidden back here. You never know. You never know. This is where you go back, look on, history, satellite shots, and Google now, and see what you can see from above here. So we'll have to do that, and then rendezvous back here sometime. I'll see you in a bit, if not at home. Bet you I know what's up with that weird little shelf behind us. Sure looks a lot like cinnabar, doesn't it? Look at that. Ooh. I'm thinking, yep, we would have to climb up there and really give it a look, but let me know if I'm wrong. I think we have mercury ore right there, which, let's step back. Yeah. We'll pop that in the pocket too, go home and pan ourselves out some mercury, we can get the gold out. Just kidding. We are going to bring it home and identify it. Now let's back up. There was a lot of quicksilver mining out here where I am. 90% of the mines are quicksilver mines. And I would say maybe that would explain this shelf here, because there's a little flat carved away that's not as steep as the rest of this. And then you can see the actual face back there. So I would suspect that's what's going on. So that's pretty cool. We'll bring all that back and figure it out. Or not. Well, here's our first super high signal. I don't know what it is. But it's not garbage. Well, I guess it is. But it's cool junk. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you on this little trip, we're almost back. Let me put this down. If you were in conifer country, meaning any sort of pine tree of any sort that has sap in it, and it's cold, it's wet, see how even the grass is soggy, it's wet, this would be hard to get to burn. You would want to have already had this in your pocket. This is a survival tip, by the way. So, getting near dark, you need to make a place to camp, you want to make a fire, everything's a little wet, you're looking around, you have spongy wood, it's corky, look at everything, you're like, oh no, my wood. What you can do is find one of these trees. See this rotten pine tree? Now this wood isn't the greatest thing. This is waterlogged, it's been sitting out. It doesn't burn real good at first. But what this has is tree bones. So as a tree dies, all of the sap dries both out of its branches and out of the trunk into these. You see this? And you can find these, you need to recognize what they look like. You can find those just laying by themselves in the bottom of water. You know, they're so heavy that they'll sink. But they're basically waterproof. I'm going to show you that when we get home. They're easy to remove from the logs. You can see them here. That's what it was. It's where the branches went into them. My survival teacher called them tree bones. This is all you need, and really this part doesn't have much value. This is the chunk of branch that was actually sticking. Yeah, there was that much bark built up over this. This is what was inside the tree. This section, there's this pure sap. I'm going to show you that, cut into it, and it's better than a fire starter log. So you can see how big they are too. But you see how easy it is to get them out of a log. Also in here is food. Don't forget that. You can eat all the little grubbies that come out. Make sure we got our best example. I hope I'm explaining it right though. So you're looking around, you're like, I wish I had some sap or some gas or something to help me start this, because it's already going to be hard. Well, that's what these are. So I'm just going to bring home one here. Looking for, they're all really good. I should just show you that. We can just take any. Actually, no, we'll just take this first one I grabbed. Walked up and grabbed one. That's all you need. And then a knife or a sharp rock or whatever. But that's something that you would grab, and I'll show you when we sit down and calm down. Okay, so here we go. Here's our little log. This part's just wood, and could have a tendency, if it had been exposed to rain, to be waterlogged, but it will be a more sappier wood. Nope, see that color in there? And if you were here to smell it, smell it. That is just pure pitch. So even this part of this branch, that's why it's preserved, that's why it didn't rot away. You notice that whole log, the whole huge tree is completely rotten. And that isn't. That's why. Let me tell you, the wood chips that are coming off of this, I will show you at home, not here. It's also beautiful. I bet you didn't know how beautiful these were. I'm going to go down through several layers, and you can really see. Look at that. And it just smells great. And these wood chips that are coming off here are like soaked in gasoline. And as you started carving down, remember that also, any piece of wood looks wet on the surface, you carve it down, and unless it's been laying in a rainstorm for 20 months or something, you're going to get to some dry wood. So this end of it, super rich end. Also hardest to carve into because of that very fact. But I'm hoping to get to, yeah, there it is. There's a honey layer here. And what you're looking at is so much sap that it actually, you know, that's almost pure sap there. So the shavings that are coming off of that are just, they're just pure sap. So let me carefully get one here. I will show you. That's coming right off there. And that is just, I mean, that's like a piece of wax. It really is. And that's the type of thing that you want. So at the second that you get any spark going on or anything, it goes, helps your flames catch. And you can break this up. The smaller that material is, the more edges it has for sparks and flames to catch. So, to a degree. And that's part of the reason. That's why steel wool will burn. If you hold a lighter up to steel wool, it'll catch on fire. That's metal burning because it's in such a small little surface area that the heat can actually affect it. I don't know if you can see that. That's like wax. Look how beautiful that is. And those are tree bones, as coined by Al Lilleberg, my survival teacher. And they're waiting for you there in most of the cold, wet, drippy, evergreen forest in the middle of a rainstorm. If you look around now, you'll start to see these in driftwood piles. You'll see them in, you know, where the leaves gather on the bottom of riverbeds and stuff. And you'll see them laying there because they're so heavy. You can pull them out of the water, just to affirm what I'm saying. Take your pocket knife, whittle down through the waterlogged wood, and you'll hit instant dry stuff that lights on fire. And you'll be like, wow, it's been laying there for a year under that river. So, survival tip, I guess, 1 so far. We'll keep throwing them in here. And carry a knife. Let's get out of here. Okay, well, we're back and it's a couple days later. I just went out to retrieve this from the truck, and guess what? It's been sitting with where I had put the rocks in a container, and it got totally sopping wet. So it's like I was saying, it's waterlogged. That's going to be a good example. It's probably the best way that I can show you that it still burns when it's wet. How much sap there is inside this. So we're just going to carve into it. And the first thing that you'll notice is, even though it was sitting in a bucket of water for that many days to it, it's actually dry in there, and you can see how much sap each of those sappy translucent areas or layers in between the grain. And there's just, that doesn't even get in there, it's like wax. There's our wood chip. Purple lighter. Here's the little quartz chunks that I gathered out. I think you can see why. These were breaking out of all the layers of sedimentary shale and stuff, so I believe that these have leached in afterwards. And so in those leachings, and with all these caverns and stuff in the quartz itself, I thought there might be a chance of there actually being some gold that came along with the quartz. So we're going to pulverize that in a separate video and pan it out and see. So stay posted for that. Remember to subscribe if you haven't, because keep current on all this little projects we got going on the quest. See all the little pieces that we found in the range of colors. Thanks for coming along with me on this one. Remember, you can like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Yeah, a soft stone. A little bit harder than soapstone, about equal to serpentine. But gemmy. Beautiful. It is beautiful. Maybe we'll make some little beads out of those or something. That's what I think they would be good for, as a gentle necklace. We will see you next time. Thanks for joining me on the quest.